channel may feature copyrighted video and audio content under the guidelines of fair use permitted by copyright statute for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. All content and credit go to the original creators. No copyright infringement is intended. This channel may feature copyrighted video and audio content. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to MTGV Crime Podcast. It's been a minute since I've been live. But yeah, Jarvis Butts went to court today. We talking about Jarvis and Naziyah Harris. She was a 13-year-old in Detroit who went missing January 9th of 2024. Jarvis Butts. He was charged. He was bound over to circuit court in January of 2025, and he's scheduled for a jury trial February 23rd, 2026 for the unaliving of Naziyah Harris, and she has never been found. Shout out to everybody in the building. How's everybody doing? Like I said, it's been a minute since I've been live, and it's very little about what happened today. I'm very disgusted because I'm happy that whoever wrote the article and they actually gave us a few minutes in court. But come on, y'all know that there's people out here that care about this case, that's been following this case diligently, and they don't care. I don't appreciate the reporting, the lack of information. But I haven't listened at this video. But one thing I noticed about this video is it started with him in mid-sentence. So I'm not confident that we're gonna get any type of televised trials or anything. But welcome in. Shout out to BFF. Grand rising to you. How you doing today at work? Well, I talked to you today, but how you doing so far? And shout out to Amma, who came in about 12:20. Shout out to everybody in the bushes. Y'all please smack that thumbs up. We cannot survive without those thumbs up. Let's see what he's saying. Mid-sentence.
Yes, sir. Okay, very good. So I think it would probably make sense to schedule one final pretrial date before our trial, in the event of a potential resolution of these cases. Thinking at least 3 to 4 weeks before the trial date. Is that fair?
I think so, Judge.
Yes. Okay. All right. So if you all have your calendars handy, why don't we get our next date? It'll be final pretrial date. Mr. Makepeace or Mr. Lee, are you putting an expiration date on the offer that was extended?
Judge, given that we are still in discussions, not at this time, and in anticipation of adding that last case that was just bound over to that offer. So no.
Okay. Would you like to come back for final pretrial January 23rd? It's a Friday.
On behalf of defense, Mr. Riggins and I will both be in separate trials, but if we did it around noon, we could do it during the break. Sure.
Okay, so you think you will be in trial on Friday?
There's a good chance, yes.
And go ahead.
I'm also in trial, but I think a noon break would be good.
So I see they got a sprinkle of people in there. I don't recognize anybody that's there, but it looks like the support for Naziyah Harris is very scarce, just like it is for Kimani Lateef. Is never nobody, Kimani's crew is in there, but you don't really see people supporting like that. But I think when the trial happens, that's when everybody gonna show up. I think it'll be packed for the trial, but we shall see.
We could conceivably push it a week and go to that Friday, January 30th date is a date that is pretty wide open currently on the docket.
I think keeping it on the January 23rd and just make it work with our schedules. I'll also be in trial, but on lunch break, just because I don't want to go too close to the trial, given the if it possibly a resolution on that date, we would have to start. We would want to know sooner rather than later.
Understood. How many potential witnesses are you anticipating for trial? What's your best estimate?
Judge, I believe we did file a witness list previously. I think there was upwards of 80.
80? Okay, from the defense at this point.
Maybe 3.
Okay, all right.
You said maybe 3 or 8.
Maybe, that was it, maybe 3, correct?
Just trying to one up you.
Okay, all right, very good. All right, we can keep that January 23rd date then. I'm going to schedule it, I'm going to put it in the system at 10:30. I know that you all will be communicating with each other. If you're in trial and you're going to come on a lunch break, just make sure that you're communicating that to each other as well as the court, okay?
Understood, Judge.
All right. Was there anything additional for today's purposes that needed to be addressed from the people?
No, for the people, Judge. Thank you.
That's great.
Not from the fence, thank you.
All right, we'll see you all January 23rd. Have great weekends, great holidays, all of that, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Be well.
He always super stiff, ain't he? This is annoying. So what did we get? Less than 3 minutes of information, and they know that it's people that care about this case. Hold on, y'all. Let me look at something. It's always something changing, I swear. Y'all, please smack that thumbs up, and shout out to Boss Lady Denise in the building. Shout out to Life with Tasharia. How you doing? Dang, why didn't I see this stuff? Tawana Morris sent a floating heart. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I don't think I see Tawana in the chat, but thank you. I appreciate you. Let's see. Okay, so we just heard them say that he is going to be going to court. What it says on here. So as of today, the final pretrial date was scheduled for 10:30 a.m. January 23rd, 2026, a month before the trial. So the trial is set February 23rd. So it says Butts was bound over to circuit court in January of 2025, and he's scheduled for a jury trial on February 23rd. And it says a month before the trial officially begins and more than 2 years after Naziyah Harris disappeared. You know, I heard that they were combining all of these cases together, and I really feel like Naziyah should have a trial of her own, because if it wasn't for Naziyah, nobody would have ever came forward. Nothing would have ever been. Nothing would have ever happened. And everything that came after that should be together, you know? But I feel like they are not confident that they're going to get him. Oh, hi, Tawana. I see you. I feel like they didn't have enough evidence, or they felt like they didn't, which is why they're compiling all of these other cases. So now they have like 80 witnesses, 80 potential witnesses. It says during the court hearing discussion, prosecutors estimated that they would have about 80 potential witnesses, while the defense estimated around 3. Dang. 3 for the defense and around 80 potential witnesses. But Butts was also charged in connection with a separate SA case involving an 8-year-old relative back in September. They didn't put the year. And for the people that don't know about the case, it says on the background on January 9th, 2024, 13-year-old Naziyah Harris got off the bus in the area of Cornwall Street and 3 Mile, which is near the intersection of Warren and Otter Drive on Detroit's east side. She was never seen again. Naziyah's grandmother said she started getting concerned when she learned she didn't get home that night. Grandmother says she started getting concerned when she learned she didn't get home that night. but she waited until the morning of January 10th to report her missing. And yeah, on the same day Naziyah went missing, Jarvis Butts was scheduled to turn himself in to authorities on a gun charge, however, was pushed back to February. So he had plenty of time to do whatever he needed to do to hide her, throw around her stuff, confuse everybody, and all of that. But don't call, exactly, you don't call the police. You go up to the school and then you do all kind of damage control around that. Going up there, reporting that fight that happened in freaking November. Like, I just don't understand why these people ain't locked up. I guess Jarvis is taking the fall for the whole organization because we know that he didn't work alone. And I feel like it's people working for him. Because, like I said before, there's nothing that happen in these cities that people don't know about. You report her as a runaway. Exactly, Love Angel. Reported her as a runaway. So you know that they wasn't gonna take it serious. They wasn't, it's not going to raise alerts when you do that. And it's so crystal clear to everybody that they had something to do with it, but for whatever reason, Jarvis is the only one arrested. I know that they sometimes they delay on things like Orson West. I have to go back to that, a case that I was covering like 7 months in, and it took years for the foster parents to be arrested. And they knew the whole time, but it was one of those cases, just like with Naziyah. It was one of those cases where they didn't have their bodies. And they still have never found those little boys. They changed their names, moved out of town, and these people are moving exactly like they were. But eventually they got them. And I pray that happen here. If it don't, I feel like it's some higher up. I already feel like it's some higher ups involved because we already know that Frank is just like Jarvis. His record says it. And birds of a feather flock together. These people, he wouldn't be having these guys operating a business under him if he didn't agree with everything that they were doing. I wish I could find the one guy that he came to my channel. He said he had went to the shop. He talked to Frank. And Frank was acting like, well, he still got a job if he's not guilty. He was trying to act like he wasn't a part of it or didn't know what was going on. But he very well is. This is very sad. Want him to tell where she is. But he too busy acting like he don't know nothing. He act like he didn't even see her that day, period. I'm just so disappointed because I know that there was a request for the transcripts to not be public also. And I don't know if they really gonna do that for the whole trial or just concerning the minors. But I guess it's all concerning the minors. So I really don't know how they gonna handle that. But let's see what else they say here. This really sucks because if this is gonna be the coverage, we ain't gonna know nothing unless you're there. So let's see what we can skim over just to remember the case. Now, this article was written today at 11:01, and shout out to Dane Kelly and Samantha Sales for this article. I appreciate it, but it didn't actually tell us what was said in court. I mean, they told us about the next court date, but what is that? What happened in court today? It says nothing. So a final pre-trial date for the man accused of essaying and unaliving a Detroit teen who went missing in January of 2024 has been set. Jarvis Butts was charged with essay and unaliving a 13-year-old Naziyah Harris. Harris was reported missing on January 9, 2024. She was never seen again, and her body has not been found. And that's what I was saying about the boys. Their bodies has never been found. It took like 3 years before they arrested the parents. The reason why the parents was arrested because their own children end up telling what they remembered. And it didn't make sense. They said the babies was in the bed one day and then they were gone. They told them they was with grandparents and all of this kind of stuff, but ultimately, I think one of the kids said that they were one of the kids was throwing up and sick and all of this kind of stuff. And so ultimately their children is why they in jail. Still nobody. They had actually went missing months before they ever reported them missing. They probably was missing 4 to 6 months before they actually reported it. So it wasn't no cameras and all of this kind of stuff. And they still got them. So I know that Jarvis is going to do some time, body or not, because there's a lot of circumstantial evidence that says that he did this. But why so many chances? This whole January 9th court date that he had, it was stemming all the way from actually November. And they kept continuing and kept letting him out. Even the day she went missing, he was out for a month before he got arrested. So he has so much time to do whatever, him and whoever, but anyway. And so it says she's never been found. Butts was bound over to circuit court in January of 2024 and is scheduled for a trial February 23rd, 2026. On today, December 5th, the final pretrial date was scheduled. Now this is the final before the trial for 10:30 a.m. January 23rd, 2026, a month before trial officially begins and more than 2 years after she disappeared. So during the court discussion, prosecutors estimated they would have about 80 potential witnesses, while the defense estimated about 3. Butts was also charged in connection with a separate SA case involving an 8-year-old relative in September. So on January 9, 2024, 13-year-old Naziyah Harris got off the school bus in the area of Cornwall Street and 3 Mile, which is near the intersection of Warren Avenue and Otter Drive on Detroit's east side. She was never seen again. The grandmother said she started getting concerned when she learned she didn't get home that night, but she waited until the morning of January 10th to report her missing to authorities. And she ain't even reported missing to authorities. She went to the school. So on the same day Naziyah went missing, Jarvis was scheduled to turn himself in on a gun charge. However, this was pushed back to February. Butts was charged and appeared for preliminary examination in January of 2025 when a judge determined whether there was enough evidence to send the case to trial. His preliminary hearing lasted days, and the judge determined there was enough evidence for the Detroit man to stand trial. Now, we was able to get a lot of good information with that. And I wish Judge Sabri was the one over this case. So, prosecutors said Jarvis Butts was supposed to turn himself into authorities on a gun charge on January 9th, the date that she went missing, but the date was pushed back to February. I think it was I know they interviewed him on the 13th. Oh no, they interviewed Cordell King on the 13th. On the 14th, they had that press conference when what's her name? The grandmother had to drag her to the mic because she sure wasn't trying to talk. She didn't want to say anything. Had they did their job, she would be alive today because he was the problem. And so was her own family. My heart goes out to Naziyah, poor baby. I'm with you, Tawana. It's so wrong how they did her. And everybody knew it. There's no way. Everybody knew it. Nasty, filthy animals, okay? How is he allowed to keep hiding behind? I'm just outdone with that mask. I mean, they know what they doing. They know why he want to wear this mask because he don't want to show his raggedy ass mouth, okay? He don't want to show his face. He want to keep peeping behind that mask. And they letting him because I guess his security is more important than Naziyah. You know, so much so they not even giving us good information. Everybody, they need to blast this to the rooftop. I feel like if it was more people in Detroit that acted like they cared, I feel like if the court was full and people really show interest, then they would know. But if you really think about it, it's just a few of us talking about her even online. And they giving minimum information. They go according to the public, I guess. But wouldn't you think it would show support for Naziyah and also show them that people care if the courtroom was full? Raggedy heifers. Welcome in, Lottie Marty. Shout out to my member in the building. How y'all doing? Or how you doing? They want the public to forget. Exactly. It's like, what are they covering up? You know, I just feel like they don't care enough. I really do. Because there's no way, like I said before, in every city, they know who running what and who's doing what. They recently busted like a massage parlor in Detroit. It was a couple of them. All of the stuff like this is what keeps the city going. You know what I'm saying? Because who really, I don't know. I ain't gonna dog Detroit. But it's a lot. Detroit is a lot run down than it used to be. It used to be a lot of action going on in Detroit. But I feel like now the city, they might earn money by doing dirty things. I mean, just finding out that nobody wants to be the prosecutor, and that's why they keep having the same prosecutor. Because nobody wants the job. Nobody even tries to get it or to run against her or anything. I feel like the city is corrupt and it's ran off of corrupt money. And it may involve things like this, you know, selling body parts and all that come with it. Like, because I don't believe that Naziyah is the first one that ever went missing. I mean, I remember it was talks about somebody going missing before. I never got the name or anything like that, but I remember it being said. And I believe that's why they are this comfortable with it and good at hiding bodies at this point because they've been in this business for years. And they got some very influential people involved. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion, y'all. Those are not facts. I can't prove it, but I promise you, I believe it. And I'm right with Love Angel that they want the public to forget. I feel like that's why they have things hanging out so long. Let's see if they can forget. Now, I don't know if y'all remember when that Luigi Mangione thing was going on. You know, the guy that fired on the healthcare insurance guy, killed him or whatever. That is going to trial and people ain't even really paying attention to it no more. So it's like things will be very, very popular, everybody interested, and then bam, nobody cares no more because so much is happening in this world, especially with the government. How's everybody doing out there? As a matter of fact, speaking of the government, because I have had to go back to work full time because of hike prices and everything high. It's either you do that or you struggle. Like, shout out to my big cuz in the building. How you doing, 755? Dang, I need some water. I don't even hold on, y'all. Okay. I feel dry. Welcome in, Princess. How you doing? Yeah, it's been a minute since I talked about Naziyah. It's been a lot going on with this case. Shout out to Cynthia, Drew in the building. Never forget, say her name. Naziyah, Detroit ain't right. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where is everybody at. I think they're gonna be there for the trial though. I mean, but they being real secretive. I do understand protecting the girl's identity. If y'all notice, I don't I don't like talking about it in depth. I had the transcripts with the one kid, but I would never do that. That was too much. Those kids went through so much. And then kids are cruel. I don't know if they being teased in school. I don't know where everybody is now. I'm gonna have to do some research because I just knew that it was court today and I wanted to come on just to talk about whatever they was talking about. And let's see. I'm a little rusty, y'all. It's been a minute. Maybe it's been about almost 2 weeks since I went live. How was y'all holiday and all that? Do y'all have some New Year's resolutions? Yep, they can forget about it. We ain't gonna forget. We ain't gonna forget about Naziyah. But I mean, we want to know. We want to know what's going on. They all need to be in jail. Exactly. What is the delay? Okay, let's finish this. So, all right. Harris allegedly that date was okay. Harris allegedly met up with Butts that day, and the two reportedly went to Ypsilanti before returning back to Detroit, where Butts checked into a motel. So vague. And I would never forget that one of the things that really stand out, because I've known it for a while, but at first I didn't know that Jaguar had been told to the shop. What was it, the 6 or something? It was told to the shop. Was it the 6 or? Hold on, y'all. I gotta check my information. But that Jaguar was told to the shop before the day of. And they waited. I remember it being the 6th or the 8th or something. And he could have ordered that part then, but he waited to order the part the same day. And that's why I feel like that whole Jaguar was a part of getting rid of Naziyah. That's why they waited to that day. If it was already parked there, why would you wait till that day to order the part and do everything and do all of this moving? And the same day that he had court, I feel like it was strategically planned. And they would have had to get rid of Naziyah on the way back. That's just what I feel. I don't feel like Naziyah made it back to that shop. Because I remember before we even knew that, when they were saying that he had went to some female house to pick up a car. You know, the Latrice chick, he went and picked up the car and all of that stuff. I remember thinking, where was Naziyah when he was going to pick up this car? Where was she at? So yeah, where was she? Where would Naziyah have been when he was going to Latrice? I think he specifically wanted her car to dump her body. He had her in there, we know that, or at least evidence of her glasses being in there. He didn't even need her car. What was the point of him going to get her car? He had a vehicle that day. It's just a lot of shadiness. And why did it have to be that particular day? No resolutions for me. I just do the right thing all year and I'm good. Yep, that's true. Shoot, I mean, you know how a lot of people at the beginning of the year, a lot of money is made because people are running to get gym memberships and all of that. And yeah, I've been working on me for years since I've been on YouTube, because YouTube will make you rethink your whole life. For real. All of the challenges I had over here. The problem is no one said where and when he supposedly dropped her off at all. Nope, because they don't know. All they know is that when they got that Jarvis checked into a motel. Let's see. They said Harris allegedly met up with Butts that day, and the two reportedly went to Ypsilanti before returning back to Detroit. We don't even know if she returned back to Detroit unless they know. They got some, I don't know. But I feel like that Ypsilanti trip was purposely for that day to get rid of her. That's how I feel. So with that being said, I feel like she didn't come back, because what would be the purpose of them taking her if they was going to bring her back? I think they got rid of her along the way. That's why they can't find her. They don't have a clue. But at the same time, what do they have that says that she's no longer with us? We know the clothes was planted from what we discovered. And they steady talking about what she had on that day. What did she have on that day? I just feel like the information that they're going off of is not correct. Me too, BFF. Okay? I truly feel like the information that they are going off of is not correct. Because I was reading what the prosecutor said, and it was so many mistakes in what she said to even bring the charges up on her. Talking about the clothes and all of that don't match nothing. It's just so strange, man. It feel like a bunch of hands in this pot, mixing it, confusing it purposely. So tax records allege that Butts knew Harris was pregnant and that he began searching online about abortion pills and drinking red antifreeze. What actually made him look up all this stuff? Did he not know that they would be able to track all this, or was that part of the plan too? Nah, I don't know about that one. I think he just stupid. All of them guilty, acting like Jarvis the man, making me think what's really going on with the men too. Like what? Oh yeah, I believe anybody that's, when they're over sexual, like Jarvis got all them kids and mess just everywhere, community D, and I mean we know his type of women. I feel like they running from a peen or something they self. You know what I'm saying? Like you're running from your real craving. Cause you gotta be sick to do this stuff. Crazy work for real, YOLO. Did y'all hear about court today? Yes. That's what we talking about now. They gave very little information. Yeah, they gave very little information. I do know that he's taking it to trial. Cause in his brain, he done got away with this for so long. He like, this can't be the end. This absolutely can't be the end. I'm sure they gonna pay my way out of this too, like they do everything else. Cause he is not working alone. He never has been working alone. And so it also says, hold on. So authorities believe Butts have been essaying here since 2022. I totally believe that since the day he laid his eyes on Naziyah and the day that he was able, the day he laid his eyes on her, he tried her. And we know that it was said that he met Naziyah at the age of 2, right? So I believe he been tampering with her since then, because we know that he do with 4-year-olds, right? So the only reason why they saying 22 is because that's when they can prove it with the text messages. But it was way before 2022. Let me play this right quick, because I don't even think I heard what they said. It went so quick. Let's play this right quick.
Yes, sir. Okay, very good. So I think it would probably make sense to schedule one final pretrial date before our trial. In the event of a potential resolution of these cases, thinking at least 3 to 4 weeks before the trial date. Is that fair?
I think so, Judge, yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So if you all have your calendars handy, why don't we get our next date? It'll be final pretrial date. Mr. Makepeace or Mr. Plea, are you putting an expiration date on the offer that was extended?
Judge, given that we are still in discussions, not at this time, and in anticipation of adding that last case that was just found over to that offer, so no, not at this time.
Okay. Would you like to come back for final pretrial January 23rd? It's a Friday.
On behalf of the defense, Mr. Riggins and I will both be in separate trials, but if we did it around noon, we could do it during break. Sure.
Okay, so you think you will be in trial on Friday?
There's a good chance, yes.
And go ahead.
I'm also in trial, but I think a noon break would be good.
We could conceivably push it a week and go to that Friday, January 30th date is a date that is pretty wide open currently on the docket.
I think keeping it on the January 23rd and just make it work with our schedules. I'll also be in trial, but on lunch break, just because I don't want to go too close to the trial, given the, if it possibly a resolution on that date, we would have to start. We would want to know sooner rather than later.
Understood. How many potential witnesses are you anticipating for trial? What's your best estimate?
Judge, I believe we did file a witness list previously. I think there was it 80?
80? Okay, from the defense at this point?
Maybe 3.
Okay, all right.
You said maybe 3 or 8?
That was maybe 3, correct?
Just trying to one up you.
Okay, very good. All right, we can keep that January 23rd date then.
I wonder who are the 3? The 3 people on his end.
I'm going to schedule it, I'm going to put it in the system at 10:30. I know that you all will be communicating with each other. If you're in trial and you're going to come on a lunch break, just make sure that you're communicating that to each other as well as the court, okay?
Understood, Judge.
All right. Was there anything additional for today's purposes that needed to be addressed from the people?
No, for the people, Judge. Thank you.
Ms. Gray?
Not from defense, thank you.
All right, we'll see you all January 23rd. Have a great weekend, great holidays, all of that, okay? All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Look at him. Can't wait to get up. Stiff.
Be well.
He looked like he might be gaining some weight. But yeah, why do they keep letting this man wear this mask? Does he really need it? Is it still COVID? Is he sick? Well, we do know that he's sick, but y'all know what I mean. So annoying. I see he don't have a fresh cut today. Okay, what else are they saying? All right, so yeah, they talking about Butts have been essaying her since 2022. Yeah, since she was 2, not no 22. Before unaliving her January 2024, a prosecutor said he had a history of targeting and befriending women to get close to essay and abuse their daughters. And they let him. That's why I don't understand why there's not more people sitting in his position. Because clearly the mothers was in on it. Especially the one that left out the room after she came out. Like, it's just freaking disgusting. How you doing, Amma? Welcome in. Or welcome back. So, it also says he's a hold on. It's not the only essay case Butts is involved with. He also has been charged for reportedly essaying 2 other young girls, as well as a conviction for essay in 2005. That's just crazy. And I wonder how is JoJo doing? I need to check on her also, because I know the last time I talked to JoJo, she had been interviewed by the police in her area, and she was going to be going to counseling, but her case should be coming up too. Right, exactly, to hide his face. And that why are they aiding him? That's the irritating part. Like, I mean, if it's not for a cold or flu, COVID, really, that's when these masks came out. Yeah. And this dude clearly, I mean, it's obvious that he's trying to hide, like head down to the ground, a mask up to his eyelashes. Just annoying. But why are they okay with it? I mean, they're protecting him. Like the girls that he did what he did, nobody ever protected them like that. He should be ass out, which is his face. So it's not the only essay that he had. Okay, so he did that. His own man. He also been charged for 2 girls, young, as well as a conviction in 2005. Prosecutors called Butts a serial rape who as a 8-year-old family member and a girlfriend's 4-year-old daughter who allegedly caught chlamydia from. That's why I think it's ludicrous to say, oh, he started messing with her in 2022. No, she was still in a freaking car seat when she was over there with her mother and around Shannon. And they said Naziyah was always with Shannon. And in the beginning of reporting this case, I was always saying I picture her in the middle with Shannon and him. And now knowing what we know about what Shannon's cousin said happened in her house, confirming that they learned, these children are teaching other children how to do this. They're mating these people together. And you know what? Let me see something, because this don't have nothing to do with Naziyah, but it has something to do with sick families. This is Epstein's niece, y'all. And she explains in one of these videos about her family. Let's see if it's this one.
The Illuminati is real, but it's not what you think it is. There is a group of elites that controls virtually all of our entertainment and politics, but this is the cult of Baal. P-A-apostrophe-A-L. I know because I grew up in it. It's an ancient Phoenician and Canaanite satanic fertility cult that worships pedophilia and practices forced incest and inbreeding. Typically, one male at the center of the bloodline fathers as many of these children as possible, and they are kept separate except for at these horrific family reunion orgies where we are initiated around the age of 3 years old. The Illuminati are decentralized individuals who are aware of this and with all of their might have been trying to illuminate you. The Illuminati is real, but it's...
Is that sick or not? So I believe it's some sick stuff like that going on, where like she's saying, inbreeding and all this, just some sick stuff. If y'all could catch everything that she said a lot of sick things that they did within her family. I mean, because there's other videos. Let's listen at this right quick. This is deep, man. And that's why you see Epstein being protected at the top, because this is what they like. That's my opinion. You wouldn't protect something like this unless you was involved. And so with that being said, we know that, back in the slavery days, the making America great again, they was having their way with both men and women and their children too. And whenever they wanted to. You didn't have a choice. They want to get back to that. And I feel like Jarvis was protected for a very long time. And now he got to take one for the team. He got to take one for the team because he was too reckless. Too reckless. And people that get reckless like this is because they're comfortable and they ain't worried. They've always gotten away with it. They've always gotten out of it. Shout out to Lisa. Exactly, BFF. This right here. Let me play the other one I got, because this happens more than you realize. And this is why you shouldn't have your kids spending a night nowhere, especially in these days and times. You don't know what people are doing in their household, what they allow, inbreeding. Just like that girl, y'all. Did y'all hear about that girl, teenage girl? I think she went on a cruise and they found her stuffed under the bed with life jackets. Said something about her stepbrother obsessed with her, harassing her all the time and always trying to, get her, right? Ain't no damn way the family didn't know what was going on. I don't care. I don't know if y'all know about this case, but that boy... Oh, the other crazy part about it, they actually let her get a room with him, she and her brother. So she in a room with a 16-year-old boy and a 14-year-old boy and herself. Instead of her being in a room with her grandparents and her mother or whoever else was on that cruise, they put her in a room with two boys, brother or not. And then they said that she was afraid of him at some point. Anyway, I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, but it just made me think about it. People be knowing what's going on and they act like they don't. They turn the blind eye and act like they don't know what's really going on when they do. They allowing it to happen. Yep, heard about that in the family app. Okay, Breezy Love, ain't no way the family don't know that. Because her boyfriend said that he told the family and he was trying to let them know what was going on. And they said he was the ex-boyfriend. Yeah, probably because of that. I believe they was messing around. That's what I believe. Because if she was afraid of him, why would she agree to be in the room with them, in the cabin? And then they saying the brother heard all this commotion. Man, I believe they was having sex, and and the family knew, and they was cool with it. If she was afraid of him, she would have never agreed to be in no room sleeping with him on no cruise. That's my opinion. He would have never been comfortable laying on top of her and all this. Just, man, yeah. Anyway, I haven't even looked into that case, but it'd be a lot of sick stuff happening is my point, and people be knowing. Oh, I was supposed to be playing that other Epstein video. Let me see. Oh, shoot. It ain't no other one. Let me play this one
The
again.
Illuminati is real, but it's not what you think it is. There is a group of elites that controls virtually all of our entertainment and politics, but this is the cult of Baal. B-A-apostrophe-A-L. I know because I grew up in it. It's an ancient Phoenician and Canaanite satanic fertility cult that worships pedophilia and practices forced incest and inbreeding. Typically, one male at the center of the bloodline fathers as many of these children as possible, and they are kept separate except for at these horrific family reunion orgies where we are initiated around the age of 3 years old. The Illuminati are decentralized individuals who are aware of this and with all of their might have been trying to illuminate you. The Illuminati.
And she grew up in this. She went from a trans, I guess she wanted to be a man, and then she went back to what she is. And she also says she's the only one in her family who's exposed this. And they actually, they disown her and stuff like that and call her a liar, right? So this stuff happens, and I'm going to talk about this, but it's going to be when I'm talking about Trump and Epstein and all that. It's some sick people in this world. Greed is a scary thing. That's that, man, BFF. When I tell you that her family basically is like trying to make her out to be crazy and denying it all, but she got so much proof. So when they talk about Epstein, sound like he was raised in this. And then he got a bunch of powerful / rich, aka powerful, the White House folks, the government, allegedly, to be in it with him. Shout out to Drea. How you doing? My oh hey Miss V in chat. Long time no see. How do I become a mod? What? Support the channel. That's the best way to become a mod. Show up. But I'm his wife. Welcome in. I recognize your name. I'm good. I'm a little rusty. I haven't been live it feel like a couple weeks. Yes. But yeah, that's some sick stuff, y'all. And I believe that they have had an organization like that where somehow the church was connected to the getting out of jail programs. We do know that churches have outreach programs like that. But I mean, that's also how you can find messed up people to screw around. It's just like the same people you go to for help are the same ones that's preying on you. And it's sad. You haven't been live in a while. I know you be dropping your shorts a lot, though. And also, you do video. I see your shorts a lot. So I don't know if you do videos. But shoot, I need to do more videos. Because like I said, I have been affected by all this stuff going on in the world. I had to go back full time. And so I just have to figure out my schedule. And before that, that ain't even it though. I had to get ready for it. Then I went out of town for the holidays and stuff. Thank y'all for the 63 thumbs up. Let me get through this article. But yeah, y'all, so yeah, you don't know what people got going on in their households. And I really feel like this whole Jarvis Butts thing is a whole organization that's been going on since before he was even born. He was born into it. Because his family members, his ancestors was into it. And the same thing with the Harris family, from what we heard, that Annette, this happened to her from her mother. Who did it to her mother. So I feel like, yeah, they find people like them. They made them together. Because remember, we was like, well, how did Shannon and them even meet Jarvis? Who, and a lot of people, well, he messed with, the oldest first. And maybe he did. Yeah, I mean the mama, everybody. Like he had full reign. We seen how Annette ran over to him, talking about you better quit this. I thought you was part of the family. Yeah, so yeah. We see. We see what it is. And that whole church thing ain't right. So I believe that they had some old Epstein stuff going on over there that involved the kids teaching other kids how to do it and making sure that the bloodlines were in line with the same thing so they can really mess them up. Okay, thank you for popping in and thank you for listening in the background. I appreciate you. Okay, so let me see. And they said, you know what, Jarvis, man, I mean, you just reckless. You doing too much. You gonna have to take one for the team. I remember when that next day, and Jarvis, was it the next day? Yeah, Jarvis wasn't at work and he kept calling King, just kept calling him. What was they talking about? I wonder. I think they protect them until they cannot protect them anymore. It's like, dude, I mean, I can't keep doing this. You doing too much. It's somebody at the top. I don't care what nobody say. And for all I know, they could be a part of the bloodline too. So yeah, it was way before 2022. So yeah, he had a history of targeting women for their daughters, and it's not the only essay that he is involved in. The 2005, we know that. Yeah, just sick. So he was charged on September 27, 2024 as a habitual fourth time offender. Butts and Harris had reportedly known each other because he was the father of her cousins. The abuse of Harris allegedly began in 22 with the explicit texts and photos being sent to the child. And like I said, that's when she got a phone. She didn't have a phone at 2 and 4. So he was tracked to the Rouge River in Detroit the day after her disappearance, which is the day that I was just talking about, where he kept calling King. So what was you doing? But I don't know what time he was tracked there. He was tracked to Rouge River in Detroit the day after her disappearance, where police would later discover the clothes Harris was last seen in, and them wasn't her damn clothes. Like, I mean, I don't, man, unless they got some. We already done been through the clothes. We don't believe that was her walking down the street or her clothes, because it didn't look like her. Anyway, all that's what I'm saying. They going off of this stuff. I really wanted to see this and see how everything played out in court. I might have to go to Detroit one of these days for it. It just depends on the weather. Welcome in, Big Mama. How you doing? Yeah, it's some sick stuff. They steady protecting this dude with this mask on. I just Okay, so where police will later discover her clothes she was last seen in after somebody then planted them and all that. Authorities said there was damage to the clothing that could indicate a struggle. Yeah, or it could have not been her clothes at all. Like, I just the evidence is weak in my opinion, and with a good lawyer, he could get off. Really, just if it was, he ain't getting off because he got all the other stuff, which I feel like they needed that because because Naziyah's case ain't strong. Anyway, Butts was charged with first-degree premeditated murder, child SA material, and second-degree criminal SA conduct with a person under 13. So it says a preliminary examination was held on January 6, 2025 for a judge to decide if there was enough evidence for Butts to head to trial. Within those 4 to 5 days of the hearing testimonies, loads of evidence were revealed to the court that were shown before. Yeah. So what that's crazy. But like I said, this article did not even state what was said in court. So anyway, y'all, I just wanted to come in and see what was said, what could we gather from it and all that. And I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. I'm just looking to see if y'all saying anything. Lazy journalist, welcome in. I didn't even see that person. But okay, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I might go back live on these politics. But I will see y'all in the next video. I guess I'm gonna have to go to Detroit and get some information because this ain't gonna work. If this is how this what they gonna be giving us, man, it ain't even real. I don't even know if it's even worth it. Like, we gonna have to show up to Detroit to get the information. And especially if they not gonna have the transcripts or anything like that, which I don't be having the transcripts anyway. But we need some good journalism. We need some good reporting, okay? They need to know we care. Maybe we should click on Detroit and tell them to do a better job next time. Y'all think we should call the news station? Hey, we care. We want good information. Like, write it down and tell us what's happening in court. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all have a great rest of the day. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Make this go viral. Y'all smack the thumbs up on the way out. Please smack that thumbs up, y'all. Thank you, BFF. I appreciate it. Justice for ZIYAH. Peace and love, y'all. We out.